Hello and welcome back to part 2, where in this episode we're going to rescape the 200 litre. Don't know what I'm going to go for. I'm going to probably try and do Jewel Island, bit space in between so we can see the fish, and we'll just take it from there. So stick around if you want to see that happen. So I'm not too sure if I want to put two separate plates, one on each corner with the uplift on, try and drag the water slowly through, permeating the rocks, the bio rock, giving it a very slow but permanent suction of water through it, and have the bio rocks built up on both plates. I think we'll have it on this section here. Perhaps one there. So I'll set these two plates, one there and one there, and hopefully, let's see, that will suck the water through the rocks on a Jewel Island. Right, just going to put some fly screen on, stop any of the, because it's going to be sand based, this one, and this will stop the ingress of sand. If I don't do it, I'll have two sand waterfalls. I'm also going to put some fine weed suppressant down just to help us out. There we go. Do I want it like that, or do I want it like that? What do you think? Yeah, we'll do one like that and one like that. I like to keep that away from the edge though, just a bit, so I get sand down the back. Try that in, see what that's like. Do that in. Now all we'll have to do is cut through the fabric, and we need to cut hole in there. Scissors. Right, that one done. For the next one, yes, I'm beginning to wish I'd made the roof on this a bit higher. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to stop the sand. You can see it gets sucked up and pumped around the tank, like one of them underwater waterfalls. So brilliant. That's that done. We'll just get some little bits of gravel, weigh it down, keep it away from the edges so the sand can go down the edges. Next, take one media bags, mix it with a mixture of this, 6.5 pH on that, and some red fluorite, root tabs. Got the word called there. Right, so we'll get started. You don't want to fill these up too much. They've got plastic little zippers on, and we'll place them in the tank to raise levels where we want levels raised. Scissors and a spoon. We'll do the black bags first. Up. Spoonful of that. some of that. And some of that. It's best not to fill these up too much because you want them to add levels, but you don't want to take up too much room and be bulky. So, bring it back, and that's all done.
People of Bikini Bottom, we are experiencing technical difficulties.
Hi guys, sorry about this part of the video, but silly me has let the battery run out on me little lapel mic, so I'm going to have to narrate the rest of it. So basically in here I have added the media bags, but then stupidly I added what was spare after raising the levels up as just loose fill. I wish I hadn't, because now, a couple of days later, it is starting to seep through. So lesson learned, come to do this ever again, everything that I want kept under the sand level goes into media bags. So they have just added the ladderite, the fluorite red, and the aqua soil substitute for shrimps, whatever it is, 6.5. Yeah, I'm starting to add the wet sand. I suddenly realised that it's like trying to roll a turd in glitter. So I had to switch to using the dry sand. I'm going around the edges just to try and cap it all in, just to try and seal it. But that didn't work. Obviously, it doesn't work as well as it looks on the telly. So I'm just going around now and using as much sand as I can to have a fantastic layer on top of the two mounds I've made. I guarantee it's not going to stay there. The rocks might retain it, like retaining walls, but I don't think it will. Hopefully it does, but that and plant roots might keep it as two. I've also, as you can see in the corner there, I've shortened the tubes on the gravel filters. That's so the water flow is even less coming down through the under gravel filter. Hopefully, like I've said before, it will what I was going to say, permeate and suck and draw the water through the bio rock will be sitting above. So sorry about the sound, guys. Schoolboy error, my mistake. I'll make sure it'll not happen again. I'll make sure I don't go too far forward without double checking. I was going to pull everything out the tank and sort it again, that's for certain. There I'm just wiping down little bits of black that had ended up on the front screen, thinking I could actually control it at that point. The sand I've got is very fine, and even when I was putting the water in, you could see it like cascading down with the like an avalanche coming down the hills. So hopefully it is. Also, the little jug underneath the watering pipe, that was sinking into the lower substrate, so that was bringing the fluorite red up and the shrimp aqua soil stuff that I bought, cheap stuff off Amazon. What I'll do is I'll link all the stuff. I'll put pictures. I don't know how to do links, to be quite honest. So they just filled it up the first time. I've used freezing cold water, so sorry about the condensation. I'll wipe that off now for you. Yeah, I'm doing all right at this voiceover. There you go. Nearly windows done. So that's it on its first fill. As you can see, it's quite murky, but I think I've got away with it considering the sand I wasn't able to wash the sand after it looked like a rolled turd in sparkles when I tried to empty it in. Yeah, I'm using a secret tool. You might know what it is. Well, you know what it is in the winter. That's my plastic scraper for just trying to even out the sand as much as I can. As you can see, the particulates are going into the water column there now, but there isn't much concerning it's sand that is unwashed. And that's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm starting to I believe I'm going to start taking some water out to try and get rid of some of the, I'm taking some of the water out to try and get rid of some of the dirtiness in the water column. It got quite a bit out on the first go. To be quite honest, I just put a water polisher in, a little Aqua One little filter, took the sponges out, just put a bit filter floss in, left that on overnight, and that cleared it up. Now I'm busy trying to pretend I know what I'm doing with the Aquascape. Now these are the purple rocks that look like coral rocks. I know it's not going to look fantastic in a freshwater tank, but believe you me, I think there's angelfish keeper. If you go to he's setting up a one where he's setting it up in a saltwater tank. The results are going to be fantastic. To be quite honest, I guarantee everyone's going to love it for saltwater. Maybe if we had more of a conformed shape kind of rock, maybe in the future the people that buy a home will make a more conformed rock and less like a coral rock. Aquascape as will take it up as well. Even a little colour variation, not just all one colour, mix the two maybe, and have like the, I'm not too sure what they're called, the stratolite kind of marks or whatever it is going through rocks, like on your Sirius stone and your dragon stones and all that sort of stuff. Maybe it's something they can do. I would imagine this is the byproduct or the leftover scrap stuff from the extruding machine making your little biohome pellets. If it is, they could maybe think about putting it straight into molds, let it set in molds and more rock kind of shapes for the freshwater scene. So there's the first look of the water under rock. Yes, looks fantastic. That was salt water. I'll be over the moon. Don't know what I'm seeing there. Well, I'm telling you about the permutation through it and getting drawn, the nutrients getting drawn down for the plants through the substrate. So now I've just hid all the plants in, and I am just going to start arranging them how I think I would like to see them. I've got Vallisneria, Anubias, a couple of Amazon swords, and a load of that Elodium. I still don't even know if I'm saying that right, Elodium. So I'm just taking the longer strands and planting them over by the filter, just so the filter will pick up the tidal 35 will pick up a little bit of flow and just waft them across the top. Hopefully it does. What I will have to do is I'll have to leave this for a couple of days because of the different substrate to what it was. Might have a reaction with the pH. I'm going to have to just make sure that's balanced before I put the fish in. It's not just a case of making sure the temperature is okay. I'm going to have to check quite a few parameters to make sure they're all in somewhere close in line before I swap fish back out of the tote and into the tank. There's a few I think there's 3 Anubis in there. I didn't put the Java fern back in because it's never done any good, to be quite honest. I think it's about 6 months and it's probably grown about an inch from the rhizome. It's probably grown about an inch, but it died right off. I mean, the plant itself was a good 6 inches sideways, upways, downways, and it just, every leaf fell off. Left us with the rhizome, thought it had died. So I basically had just left it in the tank just to see, and then 1 leaf, 2 leaf, but they've only grown to about an inch long each one. They haven't grown the kind of length that was on display when I bought it. Obviously it had been grown submerged and not emerged or whatever it is, or submerged or emerged, but it had probably been grown with just the roots in the water. So same with Amazon swords, them were definitely grown with just the roots in the water, because the leaves were more like spinach leaves. They were rounder, but them have all sort of changed in the more sword like shape, given its name now. And there's the Lodii, so I'm trying to just separate them because I put the Lodium on one side and the Vallisneria on the other side, because if the two mix, they're both competing for the same kind of height and room, whereas the other ones are quite slow. So I've mixed one side one and one side the other. Hopefully that'll keep them separated long enough to get some good root systems in to try and retain that sand up the top. I guarantee it won't. On the bottom tank, I had set probably about 5 inches at the back of the tank and then 3 inches of sand at the bottom, but it's just slowly over time it's turning into 2.5 inches right through, 3 inches right through. So now I'm just filling the water back up again, I believe. I'll soon tell you. So at the minute I'm just filling up with tap water. I've got my audio filter on the go, getting buckets and buckets of it ready, just so I can reduce the TDSs and the pH down. Try and keep it under 7, a good 6 to 7 I think for them. And then I can tell better going forward where I am. If you watch the video on the pH tester, I'm not very happy with that pH tester, but I can use it to make sure that my audio filter is actually working, because it will pick up the extremes. In audio, water is an extreme at 6 point, I think it's 6.3 or 6.4 comes out at. It's quite low, 6. I've wrote it on the side of the bottle, but I can't think of it offhand. So there you can see little bits have sneaked in. I've also took the sponges out of my filter and squeezed them out inside the new tank to start a new cycle. Hopefully that starts. I've also got fluval biobacteria. I'll be adding that over the next couple of days, and there's steady doses for the next few days. Hi guys, apologies for the last section being in voiceover mode, but the microphone decided to pack in and I didn't actually realise until the editing stage, if you can call it editing. But this is the tank 24 hours later. As you can see, there's no fish in it at the minute. All I'm doing is making sure it stays stable. I'm not going to have any stupid fluctuations in pH, stuff like that. Not saying that the rock would cause that, but I have used a mixed substrate and that might cause it. So I'm going to leave it for 48 hours before I put the fish back in. As well as that's happening, I am going to acclimate water from this tank into the torch here where the fish are. Every couple of hours, take a jug out, put a jug in, or a jug away. Simple as that. And then tomorrow, put the fish in, all done. So like again, sorry about the voiceover for the last section, and if you made it this far, apologies. Thoughts on the bio rock now it's in. Does it look natural rock? Yes, it is. Does it look natural in here? Not really. I probably got the wrong colour to be natural for a white sand. I don't know, maybe it's in the future, the people that bio home and bio rock. I'm guessing this is like the slag off the extrusion part when they make the little bio home pellets and little pellet things that's in there. I'm guessing this is the slag of that and the wasted part. It's good it's getting reused, if it is that. If it isn't and it's actually extruded to make it to look this shape, maybe they could make it in more a geometrical shape that would resemble more of your like rocks that you find in aquascaping, for those that's doing fresh water. But to be quite honest, if I had a saltwater tank, I'd be happy with that. Yeah. Because when it goes on to blue, it does go on to purple. And people with saltwater reef tanks love that sort of colour. So that's it all done. I know it's nothing fantastic, but to me it is. So that was the dual island I was looking for. On that side, with a branch that looked like it's come downstream, hit there, and then crashed over time, cracked in half over time. Plenty of places on the dance floor for my cories when I get them. They should be coming in the next couple of days, and a couple of more angelfish, and then we'll get them in. Yeah, but I'm quite happy with that as a first impression look of how it actually sits in. I know it looks more like a volcanic rock, but just imagine the stream that you're looking at is in Hawaii. So it was that. Right, Be nice to see it in a couple of months' time when it's got a bit of algae and stuff like that going on. So I'll bring his back every couple of months just to give you a look, see how it's getting on, progress report on how it's done with the night rates. So until next time, when we'll be putting the fish back in, ta-da!